Some people say those crocodile banksters taking all of our money need to be arrested by us all coming together and using due process of law. It's because of that Bretton Woods II plan those cracked crowned hogs concocted in Europe and here in the USA also. That plan to gobble up all of the banks and merge them into just one bank, they alone control. And they've tried to make you feel real good about it too. But you know you are just being left with next to nothing.
The stuff.
Just like the
they
stuff
left out
they left
of math.
out of math.
How's that?
Is this video for adults or is it for kids? You decide. Truly understanding math is not something many of us ever had, but you can have it. Some parts of this video may be for grown-ups and other parts for kids. You decide. You are the grown-up or you are the kid. What's been wiped away from fractions? Calculating with the common denominators. This is the author of Gator Pie, and this is Amber, and this is Andy. One day they found a cake on a bench near the edge of a swamp.
They were glad it was a cake.
Because there is so much you can do with a whole cake.
And there is so much you can do with pans of brownies, especially if they are pink frosted. They are good to have at a club meeting. For instance, one with 5 members.
Even if you only have parts of brownie pans to bring. So, if you have a 1/2 pan and a 1/3 pan of brownies, will you have enough for every member to truly have equal-sized brownies? Even for the littlest member?
You wouldn't want someone to get upset they didn't get a slice of brownie, or to get angry that their brownie slice wasn't the same size as every other member's was.
How can you know this in advance? What happens when you take the 2 of the 1/2 and this denominator in the 1/3 and multiply them together? You get 6 equal brownie slices, don't you? 6 equal-sized slices, whether you look at the 1/2 pan or the 1/3 pan. You take the 6, the common denominator, and divide it by the 2, the denominator of the 1/2. And you get 3 up here, making 3/6. Now you take the 3 of the 1/3 and see how it divides into the 6, the common denominator. And you get a 2 up here, making 2/6. And when you cut what's in the 2 brownie pans like this, you can see how well this works out. So then, if you take the 2 slices, you get here now in the 1/3, which is now 2/6, and move them over here with the 3 slices of the 1/2, which is 3/6 of a pan. You have 5 slices. That is 5/6.
Just enough for each of the 5 members to have a same-sized slice of their own. Kids, you have been using common denominators and nobody told you. Now you can do them with any number in the denominator. And it is really easy to add 1/2 and another fraction in this way.
As long as you know some basic, easy early multiplication facts, like 2 times 7 is 14, and 2 times 9 is 18, and 2 times 11 is 22. But now, back to the story Andy and Amber want to tell you.
When Andy and Amber found their whole cake, they were very relieved. It was not a pie. That's because terrible things had happened to their cousins, Alvin and Alice, and to their cousin's pie.
It all started one overcast day when Andy was a little bit grumpy, and Amber was a little bit bored playing by herself. And Andy thought to call up their cousins, Alvin and Alice. But the phone rang and rang, and no one answered.
So Amber said, "Why don't we try again?"
So Andy tried again. Someone answered they did not expect. "Yeah, what do you want?" "Oh, yeah, Alvin and Alice. They ain't home. We took 'em on a little trip to be with the Boyds, see, and, see some new sights. And we got their pie, too."
This made Andy and Amber very disturbed. But they calmed each other down and lifted each other up, thought about how much they loved and liked their cousins, and then they gathered up their courage.
And Gator galloped and paddled across the swamp.
Even though there was thunder and lightning.
And their cousins were in danger, for the crocodile who answered the phone had crammed Alvin and Alice into a Turk math program birdcage. Alvin managed to get a note out to Andy, and the note said,
"We don't like being
and then a crocodile came and shook Alvin and shook Alice until all the pieces they had just eaten fell out undigested.
Alvin and Alice were very sad about being. Then the crocodiles brought the pie slices to their own croc conferences.
The crocodiles used the pie slices as their own manipulatives.